Yo, it's Trent. I got this story from sophomore year when I was 16, and it's a hotel party, right? And it's a good story. So I worked with this kid, and we'll just call him Jay. And we worked at Portillo's together. I was a cashier, and he made like burgers and shit. So we used to hang out after work, right? Because we'd get off at the same time, like 11 p.m., 10 p.m., around there. And we'd just smoke or drive around, get food, whatever, before we went home, you know? Because if you're working all day after school, you don't want to just wake up and go to school again. You know, you want to do some things. So, one of the days, it was a Friday, I believe, and we got off at like 8, 9, or 10, somewhere around there. But I think it was earlier. So let's say 9, right? So we're working together, we get off, and we're in my car. And I'm like, hey, let's go back to my house, let's smoke, let's hang out, see if we can find anything to do. So we come back to my house, and we're smoking, hanging out, and he's like, yo, I have a few carts I need to get rid of, and this dude wants to get one. So I'm like, bet, okay, you want to get rid of this car, you want to sell it, that's fine. So we go to this dude's place. It's an apartment building, which not too far from my house, right? So I had no problem with it. So we go there, and this dude comes out, and at the time we're like 16, like I said, and this guy had to be either between like 25 and 30, 32 maybe. And it was this super white dude with blonde hair, like super blonde hair. And he came out in all red. He had red sweatpants on. He had a red jacket on. He had a red hat on. He had like a scarf thing. I don't know. But he clearly was trying to say something, you know? So we sell him this cart, and he's like, you guys are young or whatever, you know, but thank you. And Jaden's like, yeah, no problem. And he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing later, but, you know, we're having a hotel party. So obviously, this guy's like 10 years older than us. We hear hotel party. Of course we want to go, you know? So we're like, bet, we'll pull up. So he gives us the address, and he tells us come at like 10:30. So we're like, okay. We go back, you know, we get ready, get our shit together, get our weed, get our whatever. And we drive over there. So when we got there, right, the guy lets us in, and I cannot remember his name for my life. I believe it also started with a J. I think it was Johnny or something like that. I don't remember. But he was like, yeah, you guys can stay the night if you want, you know. I know you drove here because they had drinks, and they were like, hey, you guys want to get drunk? You want to smoke, you know? We're like, yeah, of course. So I remember this still. They had the little plastic cups, like hotel cups, you know? And I was just drinking vodka and orange juice, I believe. But the night progressed, and he had more people come over, and I don't remember the night too well, but I do remember him kind of exaggerating and talking about, like he really wanted to be involved in some gang stuff, you know, and it was dumb, because where we are, it's just stupid, you know, and it's this white dude, and he was trying too hard, you know, and he had more of his friends over, and they started doing some coke, some blow, you know. And we're sitting there just drinking, and we had to keep going in the hallway to go by the door to smoke, and it was cold outside, so I remember we were just standing by the door. And I remember at one point thinking in my head, like, we are being really loud. I wonder what the manager thinks. And like an hour after I thought that, this guy comes in, and he's like, I'm the manager of the hotel. And I'm thinking, oh, is this about to get shut down? Is this about to, you know? And the manager starts doing coke with the dude all in red that invited us there. So it's like, it was weird, because it was like, in my head, I was still, you know, I'm still young. So I'm like, you know, is this the part where we have to go home and they shut it down? I didn't even think about how he could be like, not bribing him, but, you know, being like, let us have this party, I'll give you this, you know. Never even went through my mind. So I'm like looking at all this stuff, getting drunk, and I'm like, oh, I see how it works, you know. And at one point, they're like, hey, we need to go back in the hallway, you know? So we go out there, and I remember I was drunk as shit. I was really drunk. And my friend was drunk too. He was fucked up. But we were smoking and smoking and smoking, and we're standing out there, and they're like, hey, so we know we said you guys could stay, but we are having girls come, and there's no room for you guys, right? So we're like, what the fuck? What do you want us to do? You know, we're fucked up. I can't drive. So he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's cold out. Remember that. So we go back to my car, and I turn my car on. I'm like, yo, let's just stay in my car till the morning. But I don't want to leave it on all night because I don't want the battery to be dead and then we can't go anywhere in the morning, But also don't want to freeze to death. So I had a timer on my phone for like an hour and a half or something like that. And every time it would go off, I'd turn off the car for like 20 minutes, wait till it got too cold, to sleep, and then turn the car back on. Now, I at some point during that, I fell asleep, and I get woken up by my friend, and it was early as fuck, like the sun was barely coming up, and I'm not gonna lie, I was still fucked up, like I could not think at all. I don't remember this really. And he's like, yo, it's like 7 a.m. I gotta be home something at 8. I wasn't listening. I didn't care. I was like, okay. And honestly, from that point on, and nothing. Like, I woke up again, like in my not in my driveway, but like right outside my driveway, like I'm pulling in, and I regained consciousness, or like that's what I remember. And I was just like, I'm so lucky, because where he lived and where we were, if we left at like 7 a.m., I wasn't regaining consciousness till like 9. So what happened for those 2 hours? Where did I go, I think what probably happened was I blacked out, drove him home, and got home and just sat there, or fell asleep or nodded off or whatever. But when you're drunk as fuck and you don't remember it, it's scary. But I just remember thinking, like, damn, why did this dude, first of all, invite us there? We're kids. We look young as fuck. And then 2, why'd he kick us out? It must have been worth it, He must have had, like, I don't know. Those girls must have been hot. But it was a random party I thought of. I woke up this morning, I was like, hey, I remember this hotel party from when I was younger. So, yeah, I'll have another story tomorrow sometime soon. But thank you.